Over 30,000 people in Gaza have now been killed as a result of the relentless Israeli onslaught. Most of the people who have been killed have been women and children, and we are now facing what is a catastrophic humanitarian disaster in Palestine. Many people are asking what and when will the world do, and how will the world act in response to these grave violations of international law by the Israeli regime. We have been urging the Irish government to take action, and one of the most simple actions that the Irish government can take is to enact a piece of legislation brought forward by Sinn Féin TD John Brady. It's called the Illegal Israeli Settlements Divestment Bill. And to put it simply, what this does will ensure that your money, Irish taxpayers' money, can't be invested in companies that profit from illegal Israeli settlements. It is the very least that we can do. John Brady moved his bill in the Dáil, and Sinn Féin used our private members' time to proceed this bill in the Dáil last May, long before October the 7th, long before even the most recent bombardments that we have seen. Government, unfortunately, failed to back our bill at that stage. What they did instead was put forward what's called a timed amendment, which meant that the passage of the bill was delayed by 9 months. Those 9 months ended a couple of weeks ago. And so what needed to happen then was that the bill would move to committee stage in the Dáil to allow us to advance its passage. And the committee that would be dealing with this in the Oireachtas is the Finance Committee. The members of the Finance Committee agreed to waive what's called pre-legislative scrutiny. That means that they wouldn't frustrate its passage anymore. But we're after now learning that at what's called the Business Committee in the Dáil, government have again sought to frustrate the passage of this bill. That means that Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Green Party are delaying the passage of what should be the most simple act that we take in support of the Palestinian people and in defence of international law, international humanitarian law and the UN Charter. It is the very least, I believe, that the Irish people expect of government. It's the very least that we can do in support of the Palestinian people. So what this means now is that government will frustrate this bill and put it through more detailed scrutiny than is required. Remember, the government gave themselves 9 months to advance any scrutiny that is required. And the bill's objective is just so simple. It would mean that our strategic investment funds, that's funds that are collected from revenues generated by Irish taxpayers, so the money that you are putting into the exchequer, a portion of that is used by the Irish strategic investment funds to invest in companies all over the world. And what we are saying is that those funds cannot be invested in companies that appear on the UN database as companies that profit from Israel's illegal settlements. And it is beyond indefensible that the parties of government are refusing to allow a speedy passage of this bill. It was beyond indefensible that they delayed it for 9 months last May. But at this stage, considering that we now know what we know in respect of what has been happening, not only in Gaza, where, as I say, we are facing a catastrophic humanitarian catastrophe, but also in the West Bank, where there is no Hamas and where Israel is continuing the expansion of those illegal settlements, and where Israeli proxies are terrorizing members of the Palestinian community there. It is more imperative than ever that there is international action, and this is one piece of international action that should be taking place, and it's one of the things that we think the Irish government should be doing. The fact that they're refusing to do so is incredibly disappointing, and it's something that Sinn Féin aren't going to tolerate, and we will be asking for the support of the Irish people and pressing them to stop their frustration of this important bill, to ensure that we see the inaction of the illegal Israeli settlements divestment bill without any further delay.